Hi, I'm Ted Wigsell. This is the latest edition of Ted Listens. I'm here today with Andy Newman from Andy Newman Consultancy Limited, who specialises in licensing. Andy, what are the biggest mistakes that small business owners make in terms of licensing?
Thank you, Ted. Great question. I'm going to just look at alcohol licensing and entertainment licensing today. So the biggest mistake they make is where people don't know what they don't know. And what happens is a lot of operators don't realise to put things in place, get the right things in place so that they won't fall foul of the authorities or fall foul of businesses, which can be extremely costly to businesses where they can either lose their licence, everybody lose their job, potentially lose their business, or lose opportunity in the future. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. How has licensing changed recently, and what can business owners do about it?
Naturally, I would say get yourself an excellent consultant, because a lot has changed, particularly during COVID, because everywhere went quiet and silent, and neighbours could hear the noise more clearly and became far more vociferous about making complaints, and got rather good actually about expressing their concerns at hearings. Plus, there's a plethora of new laws coming across very, very quickly, and if you don't have your ducks in a row, again, it can prove fatal or costly for a business.
Can I drill down a little? What are these new laws?
Well, for example, one coming through right now is a variation on Martin's Law, a young man who lost his life, sadly, as a result of a terrorist attack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one example of many, but because licensed premises can be considered vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
One has to have an organised structure in order to be able to demonstrate that they're showing due diligence and preventing terrorist attacks and managing their premises safely. There's a lot more to it, but in a short interview I can't.
Okay, we can come back to that another interview. And lastly, the question I want to ask you is about drink spiking, which is becoming more and more sort of prevalent. And I've heard you say in the past that you can advise businesses on how best to combat it.
Absolutely. There's a misconception that drink spiking is something new. I mean, we'll remember at our age that reading all these adventure stories and seeing things whereby years ago a Mickey Finn or what have you. So it's nothing new, but there are predators out there, and the authorities are doing their best. When I was part of that, I was delivering training on how to combat that. However, what happens is, if nobody wants this, but if somebody were to be spiked with their drink, for example, then the consequences can be severe to the person who's taken a drink that's been spiked, with all kinds of crimes happening after. A disaster for a premises if they're not acting properly and doing all the things that they should be doing. And there are charlatans out there as well. I mean, the best bit of advice that I could give to anybody on a night out is always have hold of your drink, or if you don't, somebody that you trust to watch your drink for you, because there are awful examples that we would have seen in the press, and the ramifications are just so bad for people. But I think, for example, somebody like myself who will go into a premises, will do all kinds of role playing, drill down to the staff, the managers, everybody, exactly what they should be doing, and if something were to happen, unfortunately, how best to look after the person that's ill or injured, how best to catch suspects and contain evidence, and all that kind of stuff. And also, I would add that it is really good for businesses, licensed premises in particular, to have belong to some sort of organisation. So, for example, YBC offer a whole range of due diligence forms of how to operate their business. Getting in an expert to help you early doors may also well save your business, your reputation, and help you sleep at night.
Andy, thank you. I wasn't going to mention this, but YBC Your Business Community, which is our business, we have a legal expenses insurance policy that pays your legal defence if your licence is threatened. So, yeah, you led me to that, so thank you. And I think what you're saying is address the drink spiking problem before it's a problem.
I would say not only that, but you don't know what you don't know. If you try to do licensing without having the right guide, somebody that you can trust and somebody knows their way around, you risk paying a very high price indeed.
Thank you very much. That was Ted Wigsall from Your Business Community. That was the latest episode of TED Listens. You can see that video and others on our website, which is www.yourbusinesscommunity.co.uk. Thank you.